I think this is the first time we've had two co-founders on at once, so this will be a treat. So without further ado, tell us who you are for those that don't know you.
My name is Abby. I am the CEO and co-founder of TribeMeets. I'm currently living in Silver Spring, Maryland, of Ghanaian descent, first generation. Yeah, that's the short version of me. Yeah.
Okay.
And hi, my name is Sade. I background is Nigerian. Live in Alexandria, Virginia. Co-founder of TribeMeets. Background engineering, and yeah.
So tell me why you all started the organization and what it is you hope to accomplish. What's the origin story?
Sure. So, as you have heard, Sade and I are both from African backgrounds. Another thing that we have in common is that we've moved around a lot. So, lived in Worcester, Boston, Philly, came here to Maryland, and something that's always been really, really important to us is our culture and making sure that we find that, feeling of being home wherever we go. So moved out here and just started having conversations about, we wish it was easier to find people with similar cultural backgrounds, people who look like us, people who, people who shared the same foods as us. Like, how were we going to be able to source the foods that we were so used to that our mom would cook us? How would we be able to source, the hairdresser that we were so used to, and things of that sort. And then we also thought about this, the importance of culture, but how big the diaspora is and how people are tracing back their ancestry back to Africa, and how are people connecting to their culture in that way. When after you figure out, okay, I'm 90% this or I'm 60% that, like, how do you then make the connection back to the continent with your people? And we decided that, creating TribeMeets would be able to solve that issue of relocating and trying to get connected to your culture, and really trying to get connected to these resources that make you feel like home. So we created TribeMeets.
Yeah. So similar to Abby, moving around, relocated from being born and raised in Massachusetts to Florida to Maryland to Virginia. And each move, I've always craved community. You always have to start from the ground up, looking for your tribe and wherever you're at, looking for resources. So TribeMeets really began from personal experiences. And after having discussions with people we've met who had similar backgrounds, we noticed that this wasn't just a Abby and I issue, it was an issue that was faced for people in the African diaspora.
That's a very good explanation. I think it answered like my next 2 or 3 questions, which is how did you all come with the name? So that's obviously a perfect segue into that. So from our research on your website, we see that you do a variety of different events and activities. So tell me, like, what's your primary goal when you are producing your events?
Yeah, our primary goal is really for people to find their home away from home, especially in the DMV area, which we're really focusing on. We noticed that we always have an influx of transplants, people who have relocated either for a job, for school, or just from anything. And we really want people to find their home away from home at our events. So our events are not really catered to like the club scene. We're really providing an atmosphere, an environment for people to come as they are, leave with a new connection, and just really find their community at our events. We really encourage people to, talk and mix and mingle, play games, and really just leave with knowing someone new when they came in.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually just met with somebody yesterday who was at one of our events, and it was his first time at an event, and he just kept saying, like, he was shocked at how open people were to just talking. And I think that, and I was explaining to him that, like, we are really conscious about setting that tone as soon as people walk in. Like, when you walk in, you're going to get such warm energy that there's no way that you're going to come in and not feel comfortable to talk to somebody, you know. And we encourage people, like, come by yourself. You're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to find your people, because that's the type of environment that we have created. It's all about, you know, meeting new people. It's all about celebrating culture, and just making genuine connections where you don't have to like scream over the music because you're in the club, but you're in a comfortable space.
Right. So, this is such an amazing organization. It seems like such an organic mission and purpose. And the way you all are describing your process for creating community certainly sounds like something I know many people crave for. So congratulations to you both, for being intentional about creating space for these types of activities to happen. What would you like to see the organization evolve into in the next 3 or 4 years? What is your big dream for the organization?
Yeah, well, I would say we have a couple big dreams for the org. One of them being creating a digital platform, an app where people are able to make those connections online, but also we're going to continue having our events so that you can actually meet those connections that you've made online in person as well. We want to be able to be the hub of African diaspora. So, you know, being able to work with immigration, not immigration, embassies, you know, because a lot of embassies are in contact and come face to face with people who are immigrating, right? Being able to be a resource to them, saying, hey, we know that you're coming to a completely new place, but we have TribeMeets for you. Like, they're going to help you so that you have a home away from home. We want this to be huge. We want people to really be able to connect with their culture and connect with the continent. And we want people, we all at the center, we always want people to find their people. Like, we want people to find their tribe. As long as you've been able to do that, we are happy. Like, when we do our surveys after events, one of the questions is always going to be, did you meet somebody new? And when we see that, yes, that's like the best thing ever. And another thing, I guess maybe in like, yeah, I would say in 5 years is like, we recognize that, you know, their immigrant communities just don't stop with Black people, right? Immigrant communities can be Indian people, can be Chinese people, can be all sorts of different immigrant communities. And we want to be able to create the blueprint for us first, but that could also help other communities that don't look like us as well, so that they can also find their people away from home. Yeah.
But is there anything you want to add, Sade?
I would also add that right now we're just more specifically focusing on the DC, Maryland, Virginia, but within the 5 years, we want to branch out through across the United States, because we know that, you know, people are relocating across the US all the time. So we want to make sure that our people, you know, across the diaspora in the US are benefiting from TribeMeets, and also get that access to either our app or our events, and make sure that they're getting some benefits as well.
Thank you for that. And so one of the things I noticed is you mentioned that you're both first generation, if I remember that correctly. And so how, or did that influence, how and did it influence how you organize the organization and the types of events that you produce?
For sure. Yeah, I would think we would both say absolutely. I grew up in Worcester, Mass, and that is like filled with Ghanaian people. So though I wasn't raised in Ghana, I still feel very strong connection to Ghana. And I think within African communities and just all Black people, community is such a staple in our culture. And I think even being able to create communities and just like in Africa, and I think in all Black cultures, like, for example, when you're raising your child, it's not just you raising your child, it's the village raising your child, right? And I think that just stems from like who we come from, our ancestors, right? It's all about community. And I think even when we're creating our events, we're always thinking like, how do we make sure that people feel welcome, that people can create community, that like we're or catalysts for that. So like even with the last event that we had like little stickers where if people had just moved less than 5 years, they got a certain color. If you've been there for more than 5 years, you got another color. If you were born and raised in the DMV, you have another color. But that was just a catalyst to start conversation. And it's light conversation. It starts from, oh, how long have you been here for? I've been here for 2 years. Oh, what do you do? Like, we want organic things to happen. And I think it makes us think in that way of like, how do we make sure that we are the catalyst?
Right.
And another aspect is like just really just celebrating people in our community. For like our social media, we've started this new initiative called Community Spotlight, where we are basically, spotlighting people in our community who are doing amazing things within the African diaspora. We've highlighted a woman who is making ice cream, but with a twist of, African ingredients. We've highlighted a chef who's been on, the Food Network, has these great gigs from New York. And we're just really highlighting other founders as well. So we want to make sure, yes, there's community, but also making sure that we are showcasing the greatness within our community as well.
Right. This is awesome. Tell me how you all found out about the Black.Blog. How did you get to us?
How did I think it was on LinkedIn. Yes, it was on LinkedIn. I'm in this LinkedIn group chat of just Black founders, and we usually just share grants, funding opportunities, speaking engagements within the chat. And this was one of them. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. This is for us. So let's, apply. It's not frequent that we see organizations that are, from our people that are giving back, especially like to founders or people who are just doing great things in the community. So when I saw this initiative, I'm like, oh, we fit the bill. Let's apply.
Perfect. That's exactly what we want. We also are wanting to create community and space for Black founders, a space that's organic and low barrier so that you can get access to resources, which includes funding to help you to be able to grow and to sustain your mission and your cause, because obviously that's important, which is why you all started Tribe. So the scholarship, you all also applied for the Black Business Scholarship. So tell me what you would use the scholarship for if you were to win it.
Yes, so scholarship. So right now, our team is just Abby and I, and we just onboarded a new social media manager. So definitely helping to, offset the cost of supporting like new employees that we are hiring. Because we are, a tribe, we want to make sure that people within our tribe have opportunities as well to support. Yeah. So really helping us with, hiring, and just helping TribeMeets as a whole build as a brand. As a startup, we're competing with bigger brands. So really helping TribeMeets get into the spotlight anywhere we can to make sure that we exist and that we are here to solve people's problems.
Yeah, we would also probably put some of that funding into going back into our community events. It's expensive to run a business, period. It's expensive to run a startup. It's expensive to create these spaces for our people, but it's so worth it. So we'd probably put some of that funding towards that as well.
Right now we have, Right now we charge our members a fee to attend to our event. So we're hoping that we'll get an opportunity to make one of our events free to open that opportunity for more people to attend.
Yeah,
that's perfect. That's exactly what I was going to ask, which is there a cost to attend the event? So you must have read my mind. So, one of the other things that we ask everyone that we talk to here at the Black.Blog, because we know that typically in our culture, we gather to fellowship around some type of a food activity, right? So normally, most often, it's a cookout of some sort or a dinner. So the question we always ask everyone that we talk to here at TheBlack.Blog is, if we were having a cookout, what would you be bringing to the cookout?
Oh my God,
What's your
that's such a
staple
good
item?
question.
That's easy for me. Nigerian jollof rice.
I was literally gonna say
I had to,
rice as
make
well.
that. Not jollof rice, Nigerian and jollof rice.
I would bring turkey wings. I really like turkey wings. So I would bring turkey wings. Oh, I'd bring Ghana salad as well. Ghana salad is bomb. I'd probably bring like spinach stew too. I would bring a bunch of stuff, to be quite honest.
I can tell.
I love food. Like that is this is a great question. I can go on and on.
Well, I can tell you, we've been asking this question for a while, since the beginning. Now we're leaning towards having an official cookout soon, so we're gonna be looking forward to circling back to everyone we've talked to for you to bring your staple item. So just know we're asking the question for a reason.
Okay.
So what projects do you all have coming up? I've been just talking away. What do you have coming up? What should we know?
So we have an event coming up, God willing, next month. We want to partner with this other org that basically does something similar to what we do, and we really want to have like an elevated game night. We love a good game night because it's homey and it's fun, and you're forced to talk to people because you're playing a game. And it's easy. So we're planning for that, and then we're planning for some type of soiree in the summertime where people are encouraged to wear, African prints. So like, if you do know your ancestry, or even if you don't know your ancestry or whatever, but you wanna wear Ankara from Ghana, or you want whatever you want to do, but wearing that type of clothing to come and have a good time and celebrate. And then we also want to recognize, like Sade said, our community spotlights, but do that in person during this event, and recognize people that are doing amazing work in the diaspora. And then we have our annual event, which we're super excited for every single year, called Tribesgiving. And that's usually like the biggest event of the year, where of course we are celebrating over food, just like you said. And we have all types of food from the diaspora, good music, good times. That's like one of the events that people are always like, when's Tribesgiving? When is it coming? So we're excited for that.
And we're also planning of having like a YouTube series where we have like a roundtable of people from our community just to discuss, topics that are, that's hot at the moment, or just topics that really need to be discussed within the diaspora.
So after folks watch the interview and learn all about you, how can we connect with you? How can we stay connected and learn more about you? We being the audience.
Yes. Please sign up for our waiting list of the app on TribeMeets.com. And then please follow us on all social medias, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.